Hello, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk with Eva. If you were following from the last episode, you know we are talking about lessons that I have learned in my life that I just wanted to share with you. So, for this reason, let's go into it. If you've not listened to the previous episode, do well to go listen to it so you can continue, so you can understand where I'm coming from. So, lesson six, we did five lessons in the previous episode. Moving on to the sixth lesson. Yes, moving on to the sixth lesson. Grow even when it stretches you. I am somebody that likes my comfort zone because it is comfortable, right? There is no stress. I'm used to it. It just works for me. But I've learned that you need to grow. You just have to grow. You're going to grow. Growth is uncomfortable, and that discomfort is not a sign to stop, but a sign that something is changing, and that is the whole point. Avoiding growth delays you, and delay often shows up later as missed opportunities. They say change is the only constant thing in life, but if you refuse to grow strategically, when change comes, you'll be trying to find your balance. Do you get what I was trying to say there? Yeah, change and balance. Nigeria change, whereas okay, you know what, never mind. There are those you miss because you're not ready, even when the opportunity is right in front of you. And there are rooms that you would eventually enter, but you cannot stay there because not because you lack capacity, but because, let me say it again. I think I've muddled up my words. There are those you miss because you're not ready, even when the opportunity is in front of you. And there are doors you would enter, but you cannot stay in the room because you lack capacity. And that's because capacity is built over time, not overnight. So, intentionally grow. Say yes to opportunities that would stretch you even when you feel unsure. Build skills before you need them so you're not scrambling when the moment comes. Accept discomfort as part of progress because growth is never easy. Normally, life no easy, but growing at the same time is never easy. So if you don't grow, your life would stay small and your experiences remain limited to what you already know. Yes, your comfort zone is comfortable, but sometimes you have to leave your comfort zone to get to where you are supposed to be. Lesson 7, don't settle for average. This is not to say that you need to be perfect. Perfection is not the goal, but you should not be careless with your potential or treat it like it doesn't matter. There is a difference between doing enough and doing your best, and over time, the difference becomes very clear. So, average shows up as doing the bare minimum, even when you are capable of doing more. As I'm talking, I'm remembering me and all the nonsense that I've been doing. But yes, its average also shows up as avoiding effort because it is uncomfortable or inconvenient. Do you remember what we said about growing? Grow intentionally. Yes. So when you refuse to grow, it is you settling for average. Average also shows up as doing the bare minimum, doing the bare minimum, even when you are capable of doing more. It shows up as avoiding effort. I think I've said that before. Yes, it shows up as hiding behind this is who I am instead of working on improvement. To grow, you need intention, and intention requires consistent effort over time. So, this is what you are to do. This is what you are to do. Put effort into things that matter to you so that your energy is not wasted. Improve your skills over time, even in small ways. What you think is small is not, it is consistent. One of my favorite, or one lesson I've learned from reading Atomic Habits, like I shared in some prior episodes, is that doing 1% of something every day is better than doing nothing, because that your 1% is going to add up. So get 1% better at something, learn 1% of something every day, and over time you find out that you've grown, your capacity has increased more than it was before. Hold yourself to a higher standard, not other people's standard, but your own standard, because growth is self driven. Nobody can force you to grow. You are either going to choose to grow or not to. So it's as simple as that. Now, you don't have to be the best in the room, but you should not be stuck at a level you have outgrown, because that is a choice. Simply said, do not play small in your own life. Lesson 8: feel it, but don't quit. Feel it, don't quit it. See, I'm good. Oh, yeah, in my head. All right, on a more serious note, feel it, but don't quit. Life is hard. Life is tough. Life is life. Life is doing its own, right? Cry if you need to. See, me now, I'm a crybaby. You might not believe, but the people that know. Do you understand? And one of the ways I process my emotions is by crying. You will know that I have it bad when I cry. And when I finish crying, see, crying is a form of therapy for me. As I cannot afford to see a professional, I'll cry it out. I'll cry to my God. I will weep, I will shed the tears. And after, I'll feel better. I either eat or I sleep. One of the two will happen per week. I will feel better, and I'll be able to process things after. So, yes, cry if you need to, and allow yourself to process what you are growing, hmm, what you're going through, not what you're growing through, what you're going through. Feel the weight of it. Do not suppress it, because suppression would show up in other ways later. But don't stop your life because of whatever it is, because life continues whether you are ready or not. Pain is real. Nobody is disputing that. Nobody is disregarding that. Pain is real. It deserves space, but it does not deserve control of your entire life. So allow yourself to feel without shame, because you're human. Every human feels, except those that they are already, AI, they're robots. So every human feels. Emotions are parts of being human. You can take a pause, not a full stop, so that you can recover without losing momentum. But keep moving, even if it is slow. Progress is progress regardless. So you are allowed to break down, but you are not allowed to stay down. So whatever it is you're going through, yes, feel it, go through it, but don't let it stop you. Don't let it limit you. I on Monday, I was last Monday, this Monday, one Monday, on a Monday, I was feeling super tired because of some things I was going through. I was overwhelmed, I was overstimulated, I was over everything. I was over it. And I wanted to quit. And thank God for people that love me. Thank God for support systems that make sense, that have sense. And when I was talking about whatever I was going through, I was like, see, you know what? I'm just going to stop. I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing. I'm tired. I'm drained. I'm tired. I cannot continue. And he said, fine girl, you will continue. Don't worry. Cry you. But you continue. Just take it easy for now. You will continue. And after the whole weight of the emotion had shifted, after my thoughts became clearer and more logical, I saw that yes, I was actually going to continue. We don't quit here. We do not quit here. You will feel like you want to die. Well, you do what? You manage. You be a Yakub. You will do what? You will manage. So break down. Oh. Nobody's saying you should not break down. You're not a robot. Break down. But you know what? You don't stay down. Yeah, let's continue. Lesson 9. Learn how to compartmentalize. Life will throw things at you. Sometimes when you are not expecting it, and sometimes it will throw everything at you at once. To feel like everything just came crashing down at the same time. But not everything deserves full access to your mind, your energy, and your attention. If one bad experience takes over everything, it starts to define you, and that definition will follow you into other areas of your life. And people will remember that version of you, even if it was temporary. So, separate situations from your identity. So, so one experience would not define who you are. One thing I have learned to do, even though it is sometimes tough to do, is even if I'm having a bad day, even if I'm going through it, you will not know. I will go through it when I'm in the comfort of my apartment. But the moment I get to work, I'm working. I might not smile, oh, but that one is a usual thing. I know it's to smile. Everybody, at least many people knows that. It's not that I'm frowning, but you might not see a smile on my face. However, the moment I step out of my apartment to go to work, especially to work, I'm no longer that person that I'm no longer the person that my experience is defining. I'm going to work, I'm going to do my work. The moment I close from work and I get home, yeah, that is it again. Activity resume. We've gotten back to whatever it is. So compartmentalizing just helps me stay sane. So you can, decide to do that too. Separate situations from your identity so that one experience does not define who you are. Handle issues without letting them spill into everything else so you maintain your balance. Protect your peace with boundaries so you are not overwhelmed. Bad moments would pass. The version of you people keep seeing might not. So be mindful of what you project consistently. Now, it's very easy to say that I don't care what people say, I don't care what people think about me, blah, 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 blah. But people are watching. And because you are not an island, you will definitely need people. What if the person that you need has seen you lash out because of one bad experience? Do you get? So you would have to start saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not like that on a usual day. It's not clinical, they broke my heart." No. Let's try. It's difficult though, yes, and there are days where what I'm feeling would spill out. I'm able to compartmentalize, but yeah, we are still learning. Lesson 10. Focus on yourself, but be responsible. Focus on yourself. Oh, nobody's saying don't focus on yourself. Focus on yourself, but be responsible. People are focused on their own lives, their own problems, and their own priorities. Not everything is about you, even when it feels personal. Once you accept that, you stop overthinking people's opinions and reactions. You start living for yourself, making choices that aligns with your values and your goals. But do you is not an excuse to be reckless or inconsiderate. You have to make decisions that serve your growth and your action so that your actions have direction. And you have to stop seeking validation for every move. Not everybody needs to approve whatever it is you're doing. Take responsibility for your actions and their impact, because your choices affect others. But be you, do you, be happy, live life on your own terms, but do it with sense. This is not part of what I had noted down, but your parents are also humans. Yes, your parents are also humans. They might not get it right, but they are trying their best. They have just one life, and whatever it is that they're doing, well, I get that they are dysfunctional families. I get that. But for the parents that love you and are trying, yes, give them grace too. They are humans, they are not superheroes. They are trying their best. They are doing it the best way they know how to. One day, eventually, maybe you would also become a parent, and you would also do your best for your children. So, the type of grace you want your children to give you, also give it to your parents. And finally, lesson 11, according to what I know said, that one that I said is a bonus. So, lesson 11 or lesson 12, so we don't confuse each other, be optimistic. Optimism over pessimism. Now, I'm still trying to learn this. Um, it's easier for me to just weigh the cons over the pros. Mostly, I make my decisions if based on whether the cons outweigh the pros. Now, if the cons is greater than the pros, then I don't do whatever. And if the pros is greater than the cons, then I might do it. But there's still the cons. So I'm usually focused more on the bad side rather than the good side. Now we are not saying I'm not saying that you should not weigh the pros and cons. I do that. But let us not spend too much time thinking about the cons, the bad part that you fail to implement. I'm someone that would sit with the negatives for too long. I would analyze every possible thing that could go wrong until I talk myself out of taking action. But there's a difference between being realistic and being stuck in fear. One helps you to prepare while the other stops you from moving. When you focus too much on what could go wrong, you delay decisions, you miss opportunities, and you stay in the same place longer than you should. Like I said, I'm talking to me. Is eating me. Optimism is not ignoring reality. It is choosing to believe that things can work out while you're doing your part. So weigh your options, give equal attention to what can go right over what can go wrong. Set a time limit for thinking and then act. Focus on solutions, not just the problems. Remind yourself that not every risk end in failure. Because if I'm saying we because I'm this one is still something I'm struggling with. If we keep waiting for perfect conditions, we will keep waiting. At some point, we have to move with what we know and trust ourselves to figure out the rest. Currently, I'm proud of myself because I made sense and because of how far I have come. Few years ago, I cannot say all these things that I'm saying. I was naive and a know it all. And being a know it all cost me some relationships, cost me some lessons that I should not have learned, because I was a very, very foolish girl. I was, ha, you know, I was somebody that something happened to. I know that this thing is bad, right? It has happened already. It has happened previously, and I will still find myself in the same situation, and I'll still make the same choice, and the same thing that happened previously will happen again. Guess what? I'll still do it a third time. So, like I said, I was a very foolish girl. But thank God for growth. Thank God for God in my life. Thank God for God in my life. Now that doesn't mean that I still don't make foolish and questionable decisions. I still do. Sometimes I do it for the plot. Sometimes I just do it because I don't have sense. But I have sense. I just chose not to use the sense in him. But like I said, thank God for God in my life. So we give God all the glory. This is a testimony that I'm growing and I'm better than I was. And yeah, if you listened up to this point, thank you very much for rolling with this chaotic girl. Yeah, so we see in the next. You won't even see me. What am I saying? We see. Talk to you to we meet again. I don't know. Bye.